They're not just pretty faces, they're walking empires. From the dramas that dominated Netflix to multi-million-dollar contracts with luxury brands, these actors have transformed fame into fortune. But who really leads the list in 2025? Get ready to discover the 10 highest-paid Korean actors of the year, and first place will surprise you. Kang has established himself as one of the most recognizable faces of the new generation of Korean actors. Nicknamed Netflix's son for starring in several productions on the platform, he gained prominence in dramas like Love Alarm, Nevertheless, and Sweet Home. Each of them expanded his international reach and showcased his versatility, transitioning between romance and suspense with ease. In 2025, Kang receives about 50 million won per episode, equivalent to approximately $37,000. This figure places him among the highest-paid young actors in Korea, a direct reflection of the global popularity he's built in just a few years. Off-screen, his image is leveraged in advertising contracts with major brands and campaigns targeting young audiences. Although still early in his career, the consistency of his roles and the growth of his international base indicate that Kang is establishing himself as a strong name in the Korean industry. Eun-woo began as a member of the group Astro, but it was in acting that he found his definitive space. Known by the nickname Visual Genius, he stood out in dramas like My ID is Gangnam Beauty and True Beauty, both responsible for boosting his fame throughout Asia. Eun-woo balances his career between entertainment, fashion, and acting, maintaining an impeccable and disciplined public image. Currently, he receives about 60 million won per episode, which equals $45,000. In addition to earnings from dramas, Eun-woo is one of the most sought-after faces by luxury brands, accumulating multi-million-dollar contracts in countries like Japan, Thailand, and South Korea. His transition from idol to successful actor has consolidated his position as one of the most lucrative figures of the new generation of Korean stars, and everything indicates that his market value will continue to grow in the coming years. Jong-suk is one of the most consistent and respected performers in the Korean industry. Before becoming an actor, he was the youngest male model to walk in Seoul Fashion Week, but quickly traded the runways for acting, finding his true space on screen. In dramas like Pinocchio, Two Worlds, and While You Were Sleeping, he demonstrated technical mastery, emotional control, and a rare talent for introspective characters. This dedication made him a trusted name among producers and broadcasters. In 2025, Jong-suk receives 100 million won per episode, equivalent to $75,000, establishing himself among the highest salaries in Korea. Beyond television, he's a constant presence in fashion and beauty campaigns, representing luxury brands in Asia. His name carries stability and credibility, elements that keep him relevant in a market where many artists lose momentum over time. Jong-suk shows that talent and consistency are still the most valuable assets in Korean entertainment. Seo-jun has built a trajectory guided by discipline, constancy, and calculated choices. From Kill Me, Heal Me to major hits like What's Wrong with Secretary Kim and Itaewon Class, he demonstrated versatility and absolute mastery over the rhythm and emotion of each character. His acting is marked by the naturalness with which he transitions between light humor and intense drama, always delivering consistent and convincing performances. In 2025, Seo-jun receives 100 million won per episode, equivalent to $75,000, a value that reflects both his popularity and the confidence the market places in his name. Beyond dramas, the actor expanded his presence to international cinema by participating in the Marvels from Marvel Studios, becoming one of the rare Korean performers to reach the Hollywood circuit. Off-screen, he's recognized for his professionalism and care with his public image. He maintains long-term contracts with luxury brands and actively participates in international events, strengthening his status as a global star. Seo-jun represents today the ideal balance between charisma, credibility, and international reach, an artist who knew how to transform consistency into prestige and establish himself as one of the most influential figures in modern Korean entertainment. Jun Ji-hyun is considered one of the greatest icons of modern Asian entertainment, a symbol of consistency and cultural influence. Her trajectory began in cinema with the classic My Sassy Girl, a landmark that redefined the romantic comedy genre in Korea and projected her name across the continent. Over the years, she expanded her career to television, starring in successful productions like The Legend of the Blue Sea and Kingdom, Ashen of the North, in which she demonstrated technical mastery, striking presence, and a rare ability to adapt to different narrative styles. In 2025, her fee is estimated at 120 million won per episode, which corresponds to approximately $90,000, a value that rivals that of the highest-paid male actors in the country. Beyond the screens, Jun Ji-hyun has built a solid personal brand, becoming a global ambassador for companies like Alexander McQueen, Stonehenge, and Gucci. Her image combines elegance and commercial power, and her artistic longevity reinforces a legacy that continues to inspire new generations. In the competitive Korean market, Jun Ji-hyun remains an example of professionalism, strategy, and lasting influence, an artist who transformed talent into cultural heritage. Chang-wook is recognized for combining technical preparation and screen presence at a level few achieve in Korean television. Trained in musical theater, he began his trajectory on stage before gaining international projection in wide-reaching productions like Healer, The K2, and Suspicious Partner. His ability to balance physical intensity with genuine emotion made him a versatile performer, capable of alternating between action hero and romantic lead with ease. In 2025, Chang-wook receives about 100 million won per episode, equivalent to $75,000, a value that reflects his stability and recognition throughout Asia. Known for foregoing stunt doubles and performing his own fight scenes, he specialized in martial arts like Taekwondo and Hye-kyo, elevating the realism of his productions. Off-screen, he maintains a consistent public image, being the face of technology, fashion, and beauty brands, in addition to having an expressive fan base in Japan, China, and Southeast Asia. This combination of technique, discipline, and constancy makes Chang-wook one of the most solid and respected names in the industry, representing the balance between artistic talent and professional commitment that audiences value in great Korean actors. Hye-kyo is one of the most emblematic and influential names in South Korean entertainment. Since her memorable role in Autumn in My Heart in the early 2000s, she has built a career that spans generations and shapes the quality standard of Korean dramatic productions. Over the years, she established herself as one of the most sought-after actresses in the country, starring in hits like Descendants of the Sun alongside Song Joong-ki and The Glory, a series that marked her return to the peak of critical and public acclaim. In 2025, Song Hye-kyo also receives about 100 million won per episode, equivalent to $75,000, in addition to additional earnings from globally reaching advertising campaigns. Her image is associated with elegance, discretion, and credibility, attributes that made her a constant presence at fashion events, and an ambassador for brands like Fendi, Chomei, and Solwasu. More than a star, Hye-kyo represents artistic maturity and resilience, maintaining relevance even in the face of new generations of actresses. Her trajectory is marked by judicious choices, professionalism, and a unique ability to reinvent herself without losing authenticity, which keeps her as one of the most stable and respected figures in the Korean scene. Hyun Bin is one of the most influential and successful actors in Korea, with a trajectory that symbolizes the peak of modern Asian entertainment. His first major role came in My Lovely Samsoon, a drama that introduced him to the general public and revealed his ability to balance charisma and emotional depth. A few years later, he definitively established himself with Secret Garden, one of the biggest successes in Korean television, which made him synonymous with high-prestige protagonist. Global consecration came with Crash Landing on You, an international phenomenon that elevated Hallyu to new heights and consolidated his position as a cultural icon. In 2025, Hyun Bin receives about 200 million won per episode, equivalent to $150,000, in addition to advertising contracts that can exceed $5 million per campaign. Known for his discreet posture and charitable work, he regularly donates to charitable institutions and social projects. His marriage to actress Sun Ye-jin further reinforced his public image, transforming the couple into a symbol of elegance and stability. Hyun Bin represents absolute professionalism, technical mastery, and constancy, qualities that keep him as a standard of excellence in the competitive universe of K-dramas. Lee Min-ho is one of the few Korean actors who crossed borders and transformed into a true global icon. His rise began with Boys Over Flowers, a drama that redefined the concept of heartthrob in K-dramas and instantly catapulted him to fame. Since then, he accumulated consecutive successes like City Hunter, The Heirs, Legend of the Blue Sea, and The King, Eternal Monarch, consolidating a career marked by lasting popularity and international presence. In 2025, Lee Min-ho also receives about 200 million won per episode, which equals approximately $150,000, in addition to parallel profits from advertising, where he is one of the most valued artists in Asia. His name is associated with campaigns for fashion, technology, and luxury automobiles, with brands like Louis Vuitton, Fendi, and BMW. Despite his fame, he maintains a controlled image, avoiding scandals and prioritizing quality projects. His fan base, especially in Southeast Asia and Latin America, is one of the most active in world entertainment, sustaining his status as the face of Hallyu. Lee Min-ho represents the fusion between media charisma and professional solidity. His trajectory is a rare case of constancy and global reach, which proves how the international success of K-dramas inevitably passes through his legacy and influence. Even after facing a period of public cancellation and strong media exposure, Kim Soo-hyun continues to be the highest paid and most influential actor in Korea in 2025. The scandal that involved his name at the beginning of the year momentarily shook his image, but was not enough to topple the solid foundation built over more than a decade of success. Since his early roles in Dream High and The Moon Embracing the Sun, he showed a rare talent for playing complex and emotionally dense characters. The peak came with My Love from the Star, which transformed him into a global phenomenon, and more recently with It's Okay to Not Be Okay and Queen of Tears, where he reaffirmed his ability to unite drama, subtlety, and intensity. In 2025, Kim Soo-hyun receives about 200 million won per episode, potentially reaching 300 million, which equals up to $220,000, remaining the most expensive actor in the country. Even under criticism, he continues accumulating advertising contracts that total more than $7 million per year, in addition to personal investments that place him among the richest artists in Asia. A perfectionist, he's known for repeating scenes countless times until achieving the ideal result. Off-screen, he maintains a discreet posture and makes constant donations to charitable institutions. Kim Soo-hyun proves that in Korea reputations may fluctuate, but talent, consistency, and commercial impact still speak louder than any controversy.